Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. In its 3 seasons so far, Star Trek: Strange New Worlds has spotlighted every main character with an episode that can be considered a masterpiece. A prequel to Star Trek, the original series, Strange New Worlds will run for 5 seasons and a total of 46 episodes on Paramount+. Star Trek: Strange New Worlds brought back Star Trek's classic episodic format. Captain Christopher Pike's USS Enterprise is crewed by a mix of legacy characters, such as Lieutenant Spock, and new faces created for Strange New Worlds, like Lieutenant Lon Noonien Singh. Star Trek: Strange New Worlds Season 2 became more experimental. Strange New Worlds' acclaimed comedic crossover with Star Trek: Lower Decks and Star Trek's first musical episode opened new horizons. Star Trek: Strange New Worlds Season 3 bet even harder on big swings, although the show's bold deep dives into TV genres divided audiences. With insightful writing and directing showcasing its infinitely talented cast, Star Trek: Strange New Worlds has allowed every character to shine. Here is each Starship Enterprise crew member's best episode. A Quality of Mercy allowed Captain Pike to reconcile his unavoidable fate, where he will be horribly disfigured in a tragic accident. Pike accepted his future and chose to make the most of the time he has left. Strange New Worlds Season 1 Ender underscored Captain Pike's nobility, compassion, and undaunting heroism. Lieutenant Commander Una Chen Riley is the centerpiece of Ad Astra per Aspera, an instant classic and one of the best Star Trek courtroom episodes ever. Placed on trial for lying about being a genetically engineered Illyrian, Number 1 is defended by her estranged childhood friend, attorney Nira Katul Yetai Bidaki. Star Trek: Strange New Worlds' mission for Lieutenant Spock is to allow him to explore his human side in his younger years, setting up how he becomes the stoic Vulcan played by Leonard Nimoy in Star Trek: The Original Series. The genuinely funny charades turns Spock fully human in a Vulcan comedy of manners and allows Ethan Peck to play the Vulcan science officer like never before. Forced to meet the family of his fiancée, Turing Gia Sandhu, the human Spock displays his love for his mother, Amanda Grayson Mia Kirshner, and succumbs to his passionate attraction to nurse Christine Chapel Jess Bush. With grace, humor, and insight, Charades shows new sides of Spock in arguably the best of Star Trek: Strange New Worlds annual Vulcan comedy episodes. Star Trek: Strange New Worlds plunged Lieutenant Lon Noonien Singh into a time travel romance that ends in heartbreak for the USS Enterprise's security chief. Tasked with restoring Star Trek's altered primetime line, Lon falls in love with an alternate reality Captain James T. Kirk Paul Wesley during their mission in 21st century Toronto. Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow is powered by the blazing chemistry between Christina Chong and Paul Wesley. Lon's experience falling for and losing Kirk while saving time itself launched her character's growth to change her paradigm. Genuinely touching, funny, and poignant, Lon's time travel love story is one of Star Trek: Strange New Worlds' best episodes. As Nurse Christine Chapel, Jess Bush is consistently a scene-stealing standout in Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. Through the lens of time, while not specifically about Chapel, still hinges on Christine's courage when she and her Starship Enterprise landing party are trapped in a dimensional prison on Vadia 9. Though the lens of time underscores Chapel's dedication to her friends and duty, especially in the face of her boyfriend, Dr. Roger Corby's Cillian O'Sullivan relentless pursuit of archaeological discovery. Many Star Trek: Strange New Worlds episodes display Chapel's medical skills and romantic desires, but through the lens of time truly hinges on Christine's strength of character. Star Trek: Strange New Worlds gave Ensign Nyota Uhura Celia Rose Gooding more backstory and motivation than Nichelle Nichols Lt. Uhura ever got in Star Trek: The Original Series. Every building block for Uhura in Star Trek: Strange New Worlds brilliantly came together in Subspace Rhapsody. Star Trek's first ever musical episode defined Uhura's importance as the USS Enterprise's communications officer and Nyota's singular ability to connect to her fellow crewmates. Subspace Rhapsody was also a showcase for Grammy winner Celia Rose Gooding's unmatched singing voice. Subspace Rhapsody is Uhura's true coming-out party. Star Trek. Strange New Worlds fans spend years clamoring for Lieutenant Erica Ortega's Melissa Navia to get an episode spotlighting the Starship Enterprise's hotshot pilot. Terrarum, one of the best episodes of Star Trek. Strange New Worlds Season 3, delivered on all counts, as Ortegas is stranded on a planetoid with her worst nightmare, a Gorn. Terrarium is a masterclass of acting by Melissa Navia, who carried her episode as, essentially, a one-woman show. Confronted with a literal ghost from his past, Klingon Ambassador Dakra Robert Wisdom, Dr. Mabenga violates his highest principles and succumbs to his bloodlust for his mortal enemy. Mabenga murdering Dakra and covering it up is a stark ending to an episode that wades in the muck of Joseph's darkest deeds and provocatively leaves the audience with no easy answers. Introduced in Star Trek. Strange New Worlds Season 2's premiere, Commander Pelia Carol Kane has been a reliable source of offbeat comic relief for Star Trek. Strange New Worlds. Pelia is a perpetual scene stealer, but her best moments are part of Hegemony, Part 2, arguably the finest Star Trek. Strange New Worlds season opener. Commander Pelia largely put their witty repartee aside to, instead, focus on helping Lieutenant Montgomery Scott Martin Quinn overcome his fears and insecurities. Pelia not only pushes Scotty to be his best, but she leads by example to teach the young engineer what it means to be a miracle worker, proving that the Lanthanite chief engineer is at her best as an inspiration. The newest addition to the Starship Enterprise's crew, Lieutenant Montgomery Scott is gradually evolving towards his destiny as chief engineer. This younger Scotty has yet to receive his own Star Trek Strange New Worlds spotlight episode, but the young engineer's best appearance so far is in the holodeck murder mystery, A Space Adventure Hour. Left alone in engineering to monitor the power surges of the USS Enterprise's experimental holodeck, Scotty is hilariously desperate in a crisis as he realizes the starship could be destroyed. Watching Martin Quinn's endearing performance as Scotty, who amusingly recruits Uhura's help, manages a potential catastrophe, is one of the most entertaining parts of A Space Adventure Hour. Confronted by the overwhelming might of a cadre of galactic scavengers, Kirk must overcome a crisis of confidence to lead the rescue of the Starship Enterprise. The Zealot who ate its tail is a milestone that charts the clear trajectory of how Paul Wesley's Lieutenant Commander Kirk will eventually become William Shatner's Captain Kirk. Winning over his doubting future USS Enterprise crew, Kirk proves his mettle as a captain, and Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 3's finest hour deftly builds the foundation of Kirk's friendship with Spock. These episodes aren't just character spotlights. They're emotional test chambers, mythology builders, and in many cases, the reason fans fell in love with these characters in the first place. From time-bending tragedies to operatic absurdity and raw, soul-cutting heartbreak, here are the masterpiece episodes that turned each Strange New Worlds character into a franchise icon. If anyone doubted Pike's role as one of the greatest modern Starfleet captains, a quality of mercy vaporized those doubts faster than a Romulan plasma torpedo. The episode forces Pike to confront the core tragedy of his future, not the accident itself, but the ripple effect of preventing it. Pike sees the timeline where he avoids his fate, only to bring the Federation into a devastating war. The moral clarity is chilling. His sacrifice preserves peace. His survival destroys it. This is Pike's masterpiece because it blends heroism with heartbreak. It's the moment the series crystallizes his character. A man who chooses duty over destiny and understands that greatness sometimes comes from accepting the pain you cannot outrun. For Una, the legal drama powerhouse ad astra per aspera is a masterpiece in every sense of the word. Instead of phasers and space anomalies, Una's battle unfolds in a courtroom, where her identity as an Illyrian threatens her entire Starfleet career. The episode is a stunning exploration of prejudice, belonging, and the quiet courage required simply to exist in a world that fears you. Her testimony, proud, vulnerable, unashamed, becomes one of the most powerful monologues in modern Star Trek. It redefines Starfleet's ideals through her lens, turning Una into the moral heart of the enterprise. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay with us.